Hey there, I'm Scott, and if you want to become a millionaire, then these 10 habits from my life will up your chances dramatically. After college, I had no money. In fact, I was in debt, and within a year, I was back living with my mom at age 23. From that point on, I used all these habits to become a millionaire, and I'm not saying that to brag, but just to give you a real life example you can follow. And remember, these are very much my own habits, not things I found in a book or an article. All right, let's dive right in. Writing well has been a key component of my financial success from day one. In fact, the main job I had in my life, which gave me the income to move out of my mom's house, I landed because I took a 12-page glossy booklet about retirement plan stuff during the first interview, went home, marked it up with edits and improvements. Then I showed those to the owner during the next interview. She hired me based largely on my writing and editing skills that I demonstrated on their own brochure. In the decades since, I can't count all the times I had to write an important email, some text for our software, a proposal, an ad. There's no end to the writing we do these days, and if you don't level up your skills, you're limiting yourself from day one. Buy some books on writing, practice a lot, and also read a lot to internalize what good writing really is. In retrospect, it was a pretty gutsy move doing those edits to a booklet they were distributing to thousands of people, but it paid off big time because that job taught me so much and led to all of my future successes. And that supports my next point, which is you've got to take risks if you want to be really successful. Now, I don't mean doing anything too crazy here, like putting all your money on Dogecoin, but I mean calculated risks where there's some chance of failure, but where success will have a huge payoff. Another example from my own life, 4 years later, I quit that job to go out on my own as a multimedia programmer. I did have a project from my old employer, but other than that, I was taking a leap of faith that I could find enough work. Again, it paid off because I got some steady clients and I built my business, and I was almost immediately making 2 to 3 times the money as my 9-to-5 job. It's probably no surprise that my next millionaire habit is starting a business. I firmly believe that for many people, owning their own business is the best path to financial freedom, and it certainly was for me. The one business led to acquiring another business, and that was eventually sold and allowed me to retire relatively young with enough money in the bank to support me and my family comfortably for the next 50 years. Generally speaking, you won't make enough from a regular job to become a millionaire except through saving and investing over a really long period of time, like 40 years, but owning your own business can compress that time dramatically. Plus, there's no better feeling than going out on your own and working for yourself. But whether you've got a business or a job, you have to know when to quit and move on to the next thing. You may end up starting multiple different businesses and having multiple different jobs until you figure out what works best. That's totally okay. In fact, there's evidence showing that you can often make more money changing jobs than staying put. And it's very likely that not every business is going to work out either, so cut your losses and move on. I sold one of my businesses in 2016 because even though it had been crucial to my success, it was time to focus my energies on my other company that I thought was much more likely to get bigger, especially if I wasn't distracted with other things. Just 2 years later, I sold that company, and now here I am making YouTube videos and asking you to gently tap on the like button if you're enjoying this video and you think more people could benefit from this information. I truly believe that I owe a huge amount of my success to being honest and having integrity. We all know what it means to be honest. Don't lie to potential clients or actual clients. Don't exaggerate or say you have a product or a feature you don't really have. Don't put reviews on your store that aren't your real reviews. Don't say you have 5 employees when you really just have yourself and 4 occasional contractors spread all over the globe. Admit your mistakes too. That's being part of being honest. Now, having integrity means being internally consistent, doing what you say you're going to do, following principles, doing things in an upstanding moral and ethical way. For example, if you committed to a price for a project and later turns out you had to charge more, don't find some sneaky way to get more money from the client. Just eat it and learn the lesson. Along similar lines, always be conscientious and professional in everything you do. Let's say you're writing a proposal. Make it the best proposal you can write. Get the details accurate, find examples to emulate in structure, topics, and layout. Proofread it carefully. I once submitted a proposal to a trade association, and we were up against larger companies, one of which was 100 times bigger than mine, and the director of the association said our proposal made theirs seem like the work of a kindergartner. This is just one true example, but the point applies to everything you do. Do it right, always. As far as professionalism, I mean getting back to people, showing up early for appointments, never late, responding to calls and emails quickly, never forgetting to use reply all in the proper way, not complaining all day long about the clients. I could go on and on. You totally get the idea. And I know I said to start a business, but all these habits are just as important while you're working a regular job. And whether you keep your job for the next 20 years or quit tomorrow, you've got to always be thinking long term. Now, what do I mean by long term? I mean 5 to 10 years or more. 3 to 5 years is considered medium term, and anything less, like a year or two, is short term. And if a year or two seems pretty long to you, then welcome to my world, because I have struggled with this my entire life, with this habit. I think I'm getting better, but it's hard, and you may really have to work at it. The problem is, if you don't have long-term plans, then you're just sort of wandering around in the desert without a set of directions or even a clear destination. You may end up somewhere decent in the end, or you may not, but it's probably going to take you a lot longer to get there, and you're liable to wander all over the place first. Or worse, you might be so focused on the sand right in front of your feet that you never look up and see the mountains and trees in the distance. So sit down today, and figure out where you want to be in 10 years, and then work backwards how you're going to get there. That's what I did in 2007. I wrote down I was going to retire within 10 years, and I kept revisiting those goals and plans on a regular basis to see how they were shaping up. But these long-term plans can't be made in a vacuum, which is why you have to keep learning throughout your entire life. Watching videos is a great way to learn, and taking online classes is wonderful too, but if possible, try to get in the habit of reading nonfiction books on topics that will move you forward toward your long-term goals. Books just have so much more information in them, so many more examples and details, and it's much easier to reread the important parts over and over. Keep learning about your area of expertise, but also about things like investing, building charisma, real estate, reading financial statements, management, developing habits. Absorb anything and everything that can contribute to becoming a millionaire, if that's your goal. And if that's definitely your goal, then you need to stop throwing away money on dumb stuff. I'm talking about being frugal, but I think framing it as not buying dumb stuff is more likely to stick in your brain after you're done watching this video. Dumb stuff includes things like clothes and shoes you don't need, vacations you can't really afford, a brand new car, a truck, a boat, a watch that costs more than $50, designer this, designer that, expensive coffee, dinners out, all that stuff. You get the idea. It's a cliche, but it's true. All that stuff really does add up to a crap load of money. And I'm not saying you can't enjoy your life, but you have to make some sacrifices now so you can save that money and invest it either in your business or in real estate or in long-term investments like index funds or some combination. I bought used cars. I didn't waste money on a nice watch. I didn't go out to eat all the time. And I saved my money on vacations by staying at a friend's beach house for free. And while you're cutting out the dumb stuff, be sure to track all of your expenses, all of them, every day, and review them weekly or at least monthly. I've used Mint for years. There's other apps out there. And before Mint, we used to literally write everything down on paper so we could see where the money went and track every penny, because all those little things add up to hundreds of dollars every month. If you're not already doing this, I can just about guarantee you're in for a wake-up call. This is also good training for when you're running your business, since every dollar you save means another dollar toward your EBITDA. And if you don't know what EBITDA is, then go grab some business books and start learning. Do you already have some of these habits? Comment below and I'll try to respond to every single comment. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and check out this awesome video for more money and finance from Scott Talks Money. Still here? You should click on one of the videos, or the video,